Hello and welcome to Edukemy's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video we shall discuss the current affairs for today, 16th of May 2022. Welcome to all the participants, and before we begin the discussion, a quick update, that is the quote of the day. Today's quote is, when the going gets tough, only the tough gets going. Yes, this is absolutely true. Many of us set a goal for ourselves, and when the times are easy, we keep moving, inching closer to our goals. But yes, we all know that there is a time when it gets tough. There is a climb and it is sweaty. There are tears, there is blood, there is a lot of compromise on what we really seek. But then still, these are the tough times when we seek support, when we catch a breath, when we have an aid with ourselves. This is the time when we can start inching towards our goal, even a little slow, but definitely steadily. To remind you, pre-exams are close. Start studying well, and you will certainly be rewarded. If you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. Let's discuss. What we will cover today are Thomas Cup. We will also understand what is the reason pardon and revision are in news, early onset of monsoon in news, and a quick update on these four items: Finland and NATO, FOREX falling, price volatility happening in the country, and wheat export ban. We will also understand the flood warning system initiated in Mumbai, Buddh Purnima today, and diarrhea doll in Bihar as the case study. Let's begin this session. The most popular news of this weekend was the Thomas Cup. India has won the Thomas Cup, which is the badminton championship called as World's Men Team Badminton Championship. Team championship for men. Is there a championship for women as well? Yes. Uber Cup. It is held together along with Thomas Cup. India won the men championship. India defeated Indonesia, the 14 times champion. See, around 30-35 times this event was held and Indonesia won 14 times, followed by China winning 10 times. India, nowhere to be seen, has won it for the first time. So who are the winners here? Lakshya Sen, Satvik Sairaj, Chirag Shetty, and K. Srikanth. All these four, and this is a team event. Do remember, it is not a singles or a doubles match. So sometimes doubles, sometimes singles, and this is how India led this and won this event. Held once in 2 years. This time it was held in the country of Thailand. All right. So this is the update here. In the female, it is South Africa which won against China. All right. Pardon remission news. Why news? Is because of an update. See, it is related to Rajiv Gandhi assassination case. He was assassinated, and 7 people were caught for this issue, for the assassination, and 3 people were given life imprisonment and 4 people were given death sentence. Slowly and steadily the court granted life imprisonment. They commuted the death sentence of the person into imprisonment cases, and when the time spent in the jail is too long and there are other issues, then parole is given, or even the person is let free, right? It is because of the pardoning power or the powers which are given to the president and governor. They were trying to be exercised, but there was some conflict. Let us understand what is the issue. Before anything, let us quickly understand what are these 5 powers given to the governor and the president. These are called as the pardoning powers, within which 5 powers have their own roles. Pardon, completely absolving of the crime, ekdam baizat bari, right? Respite means giving lesser sentence in case the person has got some issues, physically disabled, pregnancy, these are the issues. Then respite, giving some sort of respite relief for a small time. Why? Because the person might want to apply for some remittance or commutation. So what is remittation and commutation? In commutation, the nature of penalty is changed. Death penalty से उसको rigorous चक्की पीसना in the jail, or simple imprisonment, or even fine. This is commutation. And remittance is reducing in the period of the penalty, not changing the nature. So if it is simple imprisonment for 10 years, usko kam kar denge. They'll reduce it, but they will not change the nature of the statement. And all these 5 powers have been given to governor and the president both. But then their jurisdiction is different. The governor's powers lie in the domain of state laws, and president's power lie in the domain of union laws. This is one distinction. The governor cannot rule over court martial, right? And it is death sentence which is pardoned only by the president of India. These are the distinctions. Now what happened? See, apart from president and governor getting these power, it is also mentioned in criminal procedure code that the governments, even state government, can commute can have remission for any sentence provided the person has been in jail for 14 years. 14 years. This was mentioned in CRPC. However, a court judgment, Supreme Court judgment last year said that 14 years is not the necessary criteria. They can even remit even if it is less than 14 years. But the government doing it. See, please remember, this power of the government is different from the power of governor and the president. All right. Now, what happened in the case of the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, that the four people who were given death penalty, later it was commuted to imprisonment. And now when the Tamil Nadu government has been seeking for their release, the central government says, see, the issue the Supreme Court here says is that you cannot release people here on your own terms because of CRPC ground, because this case was researched and the issue was under the CBI and hence the central government. So it is only central government which can ask for the release of these people who are prisoners. So okay, valid judgment. This is the first part of judgment. But the Tamil Nadu government later went on to use the governor's power. See, earlier they were using the CRPC powers. Then they used the governor's power through which they wanted the release of the prisoners. And this is where the governor has reserved the statement of the state government and ask the central government to intervene and see if this can be done or not. So Supreme Court says that in CRPC case it is absolutely true, but in case of governor's power, these are governor's power. Let us see what the Supreme Court has to say right now. Supreme Court says that we will reserve whether the governor can actually refer this state government's advice to central government or not, and whether the central government, that is the President of India's domain, will be more powerful than the governors in this case or not. Right. So this is the quick update. If there are questions, please ask them. I will definitely help you solve them. All right. So moving on to the next one is early onset of monsoon. This is a news because monsoon is set to arrive in Kerala coast 4 days early. Does it mean that the monsoon will be stronger than the usual? No. Does it? And if in case there is late onset, does it mean that the monsoons will be lesser than usual? No, it is not so. Does it also mean that it might also impact the monsoon spreading in the whole country? Not really. It is also dependent on pressure, wind pressure, direction of wind. All those things are also there. But yes, to a small level it might impact, but not as much. So what is the reason for early onset of monsoon this time? It is because of Asani, the cyclone Asani, and it has led to early onset of monsoon. See, the monsoon hitting the coast of Kerala, that is called as the onset of monsoon. All right. And there are particular designated parameters on which this is declared what is the onset of monsoon. So IMD declares that the monsoon has had its onset provided there is at least 60% of 14 designated meteorological stations in Kerala and Lakshadweep, and they record at least 2.5 mm of rainfall on that particular day. And if they do so next day, and if it reaches Kerala coast, it is designated as hitting the Kerala coast, onset of monsoon has started. So at least 60% of designated rainfall happening in Lakshadweep and Kerala coast at those specific places. That's the only criteria. All right. So that's the update about this. It doesn't impact the monsoon largely, but onset largely happens around 1st of June. Finland to join NATO. Finland has been urging to join NATO. Their parliament is due to passing a law saying that yes, we would like resolution saying that we would like to join NATO forces. All is happening because of Russia's intimidation and annexation of parts of Ukraine. Right. So a quick understanding about these countries. See, these 5 countries are designated as something. What is the name given to these countries? These are Nordic countries. And out of these 5 Nordic countries, 2 countries, that is Finland and Sweden. Finland is this country and Sweden is the one left to it. Norway is the third one. Norway is a part of the NATO forces, but Sweden and Finland are not. That is why it is called as Finlandization. They have utilized the best of both the sides, Europe side and Russia side. They have had investments from Russia. They have had better trades with Russia, import of petroleum, and they've also utilized good trade pacts with the European countries. But no more. Now they say we would prefer to join NATO because we see a lot of dangerous things happening from Russian end. Russia is not happy with it because once they join NATO, then the sphere of NATO's influence and the weaponry systems, they will be easier to target Russian places. So this is the issue here. Earlier they had strategic ambiguity. I remember having discussed the the important keyword Finlandization, that Ukraine could go through Finlandization, but now it looks like that Finland will go through NATOization, right? That is the issue in news. Russia has been currently debating things like nuking Europe. Russia has been debating, saying, why are we even showing Finland on the map of Russia in Russian state television? And these are the same arguments that they had used for Ukraine. Let's see what has to happen. Right now, what Russia has done is that Finland has not been able to provide finances for the electricity it gains from Russian electricity company. So they have cut down the electricity for Finland. That is the issue. They share a 1300 kilometer long border. So let's see what is going to happen. Finland has been in confidence building measures with Russia. It very well knows no disinformation to be spread. So they have been building confidence. They say that it is not a net zero sum game. If we are on the side of NATO, it doesn't mean we are not on Russian side, but just that we want protection. So this is the thing here. Russia has lost a lot of credibility, economic, military, diplomatic. We know that. So let's see what is the update. And not only Finland, Sweden is next to go. Okay, what is the next issue that we discuss here quickly? Falling in forex. All right, falling forex and falling in rupee, both are being associated with each other. In fact, what has been said by IMF is that rupee could go to as low as 94 rupees for a dollar. So weakening rupee and forex, we know the reasons, and in just coming months they say it might even touch 80 rupees for a dollar. So the exports might become cheaper and imports might become more expensive, but the reality is that we are not able to take advantage of the cheaper exports, right, because of supply chain crisis and other issues. So we have discussed this. Just that I wanted to share the 80 and 94 rupee mark that the organization has spoken of, that is IMF. All right, price volatility. See, the article primarily speaks of saying that price volatility is fine. It happens. Rise in price happens. Sugar price has risen in the last 7-8 years. So has rice, so has wheat, so has milk price. See, every 1.5 years, the Amul milk prices are raised 1.5 to 2 rupees. But this does not pinch us. What pinches us is the sudden raise in price of the commodities. So this, on the left side, you see 5 types of popular oil seeds. Groundnut produced in India, mustard produced largely in India, mustard, sarso. But the other 3, sunflower seeds, and the other one is soya bean seeds, and the 5th one is our palm oil seeds. All of them are imported, right? And each of them has seen a huge price rise, 2 to 3 times past price rise just in the last 2-3 years, and this has pinched the consumer a lot. So price rise, gentle price rise is just fine for the economy, but sudden price rise is like a volatile shock, right? And it started with drought in Ukraine 2019-20, labor crisis in Malaysia because of COVID times, and post that, export ban in Indonesia, Russia-Ukraine war, and dry spell in South America. And we know that we import most of our oil palm from Indonesia, Malaysia. We import most of our sunflower oil from Ukraine and Russia. We import most of our soybean oil from Argentina and Brazil, and all these 3 places facing this deficit. Imagine how the prices of groundnut and prices of mustard would also rise in the country, because demand of oilseed would rise. And interestingly, almost 60% of our oilseed requirement, right, we import. That is the issue. So price volatility is fine, but it should be gentle, not sudden. See, I had predicted this export ban of wheat, and this has happened. See, India was not in a situation to export wheat, even with higher supplies. Now the supplies are limited. What we had thought as 111 million tons of production, we have said that they will be around 5% of deficit. No, right? Quite a while. And last year the production was 105 million tons. The quality of wheat procurement also has deteriorated. So the government has gone U-turn on exports. Earlier we were sending delegations abroad to discuss the export, but now we say no, we will not be able to export. What has happened to the countries abroad? They have condemned this action of India. See, but then the important mandate with the countries, if we have had an agreement, we will respect them. This is what also India has said. For the neighbors also, we will respect the agreements. If there is a special case like Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, they might need it, no, during this time, wheat supplies, so we will be able to deliver it to them, right? For Prime Minister's Garib Kalyan Yojana, we will be stocking by rice, not wheat this time. So this is it. Why has the government restricted the exports? Is because we want to stop the hoarding of wheat. We want to ensure that it remains in good supply in the country. Wheat prices, atta prices have also escalated in the country. All right. So this is one. The crisis there is there in the country? No, it is not there in the country. Right. So this is the update. And Is it going to hit the farmers revenue? Absolutely it will hit, because they were earning from the private stakeholders right now, traders right now, but everybody, export economy will drop right now. Flood warning system in news because India has initiated iFlows integrated flood warning system in Mumbai. We had this app earlier, but it was static. It was not dynamic. It was not updating things dynamically. But right now, it will be updating things dynamically here. So relay alerts will be issued at places 6 to 72 hours before the flood, possible flood in that particular area in Mumbai. So places will be told what will be the height of flood water attainment at that place, or what will be the vulnerability of a specific region, and accordingly manpower and machine power will be deployed at particular spaces. So great initiative by Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation, BMC, Greater Mumbai Municipal Corporation, and the Ministry of Earth Sciences. All right, flood warning system called as iFlows. Swathi, this is the weapon locator radar that Army has ordered. 12 of these devices Army has ordered, and it will be a great step ahead of placing it along China borders, especially because this device will be able to locate all the originating stations for any guns, missiles, artillery within 50-kilometer range, and they will be able to detect this for 7 different weapons being fired at our borders, 7 different places, and this radar will be active. So great, Swathi, and this is indigenous. That's the best part about this radar system called as weapon locator radar. Okay. Budh Purnima. Today is Budh Purnima, and the day it is said that Gautam Budh, Siddharth, he was born, and the person who propounded the religion of Buddhism. And this is where PM's visit to Lumbini, Nepal has been called as a watershed event. This was an editorial as well, but we have not discussed this today. We will discuss this sometime soon. But we have discussed 2 important editorials for today. One on road accidents, and the other one is on the issue of the project P75 and P75I of our nation, that is nuclear submarine. So do look at both of these editorials. Today's case is that of Pari diarrhea doll, a very interesting case of Bihar and the whole world, where 2,000 people, 2,000 children, basically they die every day because of diarrhea. Now this is where this kit has been created, diarrhea kit, and this small girl you see, she is the Pari, name Pari, and this girl is a plastic girl. The plastic girl is inflated with the help of water, and then water is also ejected out of the system. The idea is to show the rural women what is the impact of water, and if water is short, how does it impact the health cycle of a human being. And after that, ORS, oral rehydration solution, is provided, and through this kind of solution, again it is seen how the plastic itself, it inflates again. So through this, the girls, the females, they immediately start asking for what is ORS, what is the zinc solution you use, what is the kind of rehydration solution that is used. So this has marked as an important scheme appreciated by Niti Aayog as well. You can look at this scheme from the perspective of providing the demonstration of activities which are a little technical to understand for rural people. All right, so this is the current affairs. Feature news on India Maldives relationship I will be publishing later half, possibly towards today night. And this is the current affairs. If there are inputs, questions, please put it down in the comment section. And if you like this initiative, share some love through likes, comments, and shares. Thank you for watching.